Whether you are new to programming or a pro, you can definitely benefit from this video. If you are looking for a complete guide and most straightforward tech stack for mobile app, you're in the right place. This is the only video you need to watch to fully understand how to build a mobile app. How do I know? My name is David and I personally went through all these steps to build scalable, maintainable mobile application with no previous experience. I'm not a professional, but even without any technical knowledge, I was able to build and launch my application, so you can do it too. At the end of this video, I'll share a PDF file when you can find all the links I mentioned, plus my full tech stack. What about no-code development? I mean, yeah, no-code tools can be handy for quick prototypes. But even then, you need some sort of understanding of what you are doing. At the end of the day, if you just want to pretend that you built something, I don't think we're on the same page. Because here I want to show you how it happens in real world. Not in some imaginary fairy tale where AI does everything instead of you. Basically, this is your skeleton of key points to build the knowledge to create the next unicorn. I will use myself as an example. My mobile app should be cross-platform. Ideally, everything we build should be in just one language for front-end and for back-end. Is it even possible? Yes, it is. And the answer is JavaScript. If you have no previous experience, you need to get the basics of JavaScript. It is crucial to have basics under your belt. In this video by Super Simple Dev, in just 22 hours you can learn the basic principles of JavaScript. If you have $30 per month to spend, I would go with Moshe Hamidani. By the way, I'm not sponsored by Moshe, I just personally went through his course, which I liked and it helped me a lot. During these courses you will gain an understanding of JavaScript and how to build a web app, which is what it originally was made for. After this step, you can already become a real engineer and already can bring your ideas to life. The next step is to actually build the mobile application. In every mobile app we have two areas, front end and the back end. Let's use this YouTube app as an example. It doesn't matter if it's on the computer, mobile device or TV. You have buttons around you that you can press to go to any video you want. By the way, you can also subscribe and hit that saucy like button, which is absolutely free. Anyway, that is your front end. Buttons, text, screens, etc. But all those suggestions are there because the backend knows what you watched before and tries to predict what would you like to watch next. Do you remember when you click that subscribe button? When you click it, your front end sends the API call to the backend, which then stores that information in database. We will actually come back to database later. And now you know the difference between front end and backend. Let's start with front end. Since we chose to learn one language for both front end and back end, we have no other choice than React Native. Of course, there is always Flutter, where you need to learn Dart, which is another language. And everything gets even better and simpler because we have Expo, which gives you instant feedback on what you are building. In this video, in just 4.5 hours, JavaScript Mastery will teach you the basics of Expo React Native. Again, I personally went through Moshe course since I already had subscription for JavaScript. And now it's time for the backend. If you went through Moshe course, you already know what we're going to use. Since we're trying to spend least on learning and most on building, we will use Node.js. It's scalable, reliable, and you can deploy your server anywhere. AWS, G Cloud, or you can even run it locally forever. The links for the best Node.js courses you can find in PDF file. Since our backend and frontend ready, we'll need a couple more things. What about Redux? Never overcomplicate things. Eventually you may use it or may not. Doesn't matter. Start simple. We need just two things to actually launch our app: database structure and database and this. For database, we have basically just two choices: MySQL or MongoDB. If you want to make it simple, just decide whether your data will be structured and if you can imagine it as a table. Let's use my application as an example. I need structured data because I'm dealing with professionals, customers, jobs, and invoices. Also, will you have relationships? As an example, you frequently need to link customers with another professionals. Your choice depends on how your data will be structured. Use MySQL if your data is well structured and can be represented as tables. You need transactions, handling payments, invoices. You frequently need to link customers, payments, and jobs efficiently. That's the reason why I chose MySQL. You can use MongoDB if you need high speed, reads and writes, and flexibility. Also, if your data is unstructured. As an example, chat messages, reviews, etc. Big applications like Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp actually using MongoDB for that reason. By the way guys, let me know in the comments what do you think about my tech stack. For an authentication, I'm using Firebase, which is amazingly simple and absolutely free, at least at the beginning. Alright guys, let's summarize what we ended up with. For the front end, we are using React Native Expo. For the back end, we are using Node.js. For database, I'm using MySQL. And for authentication, Firebase. Simple, easy, and scalable. After setting everything up, congratulations! You can deploy your first mobile application. Alright, now let's come back to the real life. We don't just need to learn everything and build it like in old school days. We have Copilot, which speeds up the process. We have Cursor AI, which by itself can 10x your speed. But to be able to use all those amazing tools, you need to be able to understand what you are doing and how everything works. Guys, in just 1 week, you'll be able to build a simple application that may impact lives of millions. If you were waiting for the sign to start, here it is. Just start.